So I want to invite you to stop trying to be a better man. Maybe that's actually the real problem. Maybe that's the thing that's keeping you stuck. If you're constantly trying to fix yourself, who's the you that needs fixing? What's the implied message in that? Think about it. The better man that you're chasing is just another mask anyways. Let's blow this nice guy pattern out of the water today. But before I do, I want to invite you to like, subscribe, and share, and to comment, and all that good stuff. Lastly, if you stay in this video till the end, I'm going to be doing a little guided process with you to help deepen this concept into your subconscious mind. So this concept isn't about staying the same. I'm not saying stop trying to be a better man, just give up and be who you are. What I'm saying is stop all the striving, stop all the chasing, stop all the wanting, stop all the pushing. Did you ever think that that might be the actual problem? And that there might be another way that actually works better? You see, most men, most people today that are into self-improvement are addicted to self-improvement. It's just another false idol. It's something we're chasing that we can't get enough of. And we're constantly chasing the next program, the next course, the next thing. And when you stop, and you stop all the self-improvement, the question is, who are you? Who's underneath all that chasing, all that striving, all that working to be perfect? You see, every bit of effort, every bit of trying, every bit of pushing, every bit of forcing is an implied subtle message, an entrance to the subconscious mind that you're not good enough, that there's something wrong with you. It's a form of self-rejection when you think about it. And I promise you there's another way. We're going to get to that. But I really need you to see this, that all the pushing and the striving and the chasing, all it does is create anxiety, stress, and tension. For me, it got me nowhere for years. And when I finally got this principle, when my teacher, Carl, finally pointed it out to me, and I really dove into it and got it, my whole life began to change. It took him hitting me over the head several times with it before I saw it, but then my life began to change. So again, this is not about giving up. This is about becoming who you were meant to be, dropping into your true self and learning to have true self-acceptance and really learning to love yourself. And not in a woo-woo hippie sort of way. We'll get more into that in a little bit. So think about it. Better usually implies the message, like, be a better man, that you're not good enough, that you're doing something wrong. Remember that Gillette commercial that came out, I don't know how many years ago it was. I think it was during COVID. That implied that all men weren't good enough and we needed to improve. We need to get better. Everybody turned on that commercial. Remember how Gillette lost all that money? Because deep down inside, we know when you constantly tell us we have to be better, that in a weird sort of way, you're saying we're not good enough the way we are, that there's something wrong with us. And the trap of that is that it never ends. What you focus on expands. If you focus on being better with the implied subconscious message, I'm not good enough, then deep down inside, that part of you that doesn't feel good enough also has to amplify too. Real confidence doesn't need improvement. It needs revealment. That's why I called my course on letting go the revealing process. It's about revealing who you are deep down inside. It's about being the best man you already are, not becoming something better in the future. And as you strip away the layers between you and who you really are, you become the best version of yourself. Knowing deep down inside the whole time you're doing it, that person's already there. He's inside the marble. He's your own statue of David. In this case, in my case, it's the statue of Brian that I'm carving. I'm breaking out of the marble. That's the best way to put it. And it's a hell of an image if you picture yourself doing it. So think about that for a minute and realize you're trying to arrive someplace you're already standing. You may not realize it, but you're already there. The only thing between you and who you really are is the illusion of imperfection. See, we're all imperfect. We're all broken. So therefore, we're either all imperfect or we're all perfectly imperfect. And when you begin to accept yourself, you can begin to accept everybody else. Because that's all we really want, is to be accepted and loved for every part of us, including our flaws. Everybody wants the gift of not having to be perfect anymore, being loved for who they are and how they see themselves deep down inside. And I promise you, at a deep level, you do too. So trying creates this unhealthy form of tension. I think there's a very healthy form of tension out there. But trying, wanting, forcing, I talk about that in my revealing course. It creates this powerful resistance, this subconscious holding back. And we need to stop it. Stop it right now. It's the number one thing I deal with in my long-term clients as I work with them over 6 months, is getting them out of this phase of trying, efforting, and forcing, and learning to stop and just be with themselves right here, right now. Trying is really just resistance in disguise. It's resistance disguised as doing something. And you get into a fight with yourself and you push, force, and you do get growth, but you get growth when you surrender. The moment you push so hard, you're like, screw it, I'm going to relax for a little bit. You ever notice that's when the growth drops in? What if you could master the art of going right to that place, right to that moment? Wouldn't it be amazing? So think about it for a minute. That's what embodiment does. That's what energetic embodiment does. It stops all the trying and all the efforting, and it just allows. It allows you to be in the now because your body is always in the now. The energetic field around you is always in the now. When you begin to identify with that field, when you begin to feel that field and you begin to flow in that field, you can't be in the future. You can't be in the past, which is where trying and efforting exists. So now let's think about this for a minute. How would you feel? How would you move? How would you walk? How would you talk? How would you be if you knew in every cell of your being, in your body, in your field, through the ground, that you were more than enough? That you loved yourself even for all of your flaws for no reason at all? Because deep down inside, you don't need a reason to love yourself. You can just love yourself. See, most men are chasing this fantasy of masculine perfection. And I see it all the time when I'm out. I see men trying to get the muscles, the tattoos. I see the women getting the plastic surgery, and they're all trying to look perfect. And they're putting up this front. Now, I'm not saying having muscles, tattoos, or working on yourself doesn't matter or isn't important. I wanted all that stuff, but I never quite got it. I never did the tattoos for various reasons, and I never worked really hard to get the muscles. I was just too lazy, but I wanted it. Why? Because I wanted to be validated. I wanted to be cool. But in reality, when you drop that wanting to be cool, you'll start naturally expressing who you are. And again, I don't think the muscles and tattoos are bad in and of themselves. If it's a natural expression of your art, of being free, of being alive, of being happy, that is a beautiful thing. But if you're doing it just for validation, just to get people to like you, just so you can get women, in the end, you're gonna pay the price. When you get older and everything starts to fall apart, you're gonna pay the price. But when you're free and you're living a life of expression, you're creating a business because you love yourself and you're giving it away to the world because you're more than enough and you want to help others, it's an amazing thing. When you're just creating a business to get money so you can be the coolest guy on the block, that's a whole nother story, isn't it? Think about it. The image of becoming this perfect man is just an illusion. It's a trap. It's another false idol that we chase. And this is what, if you've ever read spiritual texts like the Gospels or other spiritual texts, it's all about chasing these false idols, making them more important than your connection to God, divinity, source itself. It's okay to have money. It's okay to look good. It's okay to feel sexy and beautiful. But don't do it at the cost of your soul. Don't do it at the cost of your self-love. Don't do it as a secondary prize or a consolation prize for not feeling good enough. Do it as an expression of the love you have for yourself. So I want to invite you to stop trying, start being, and learn to love yourself. I want to invite you to step into your shadow, do the shadow work, find the darkest parts of yourself and say, they're beautiful. I love you just the way you are anyways. I want to invite you to take that shadow and transmute it into personal power, because that's what happens. When you look at these dark parts of yourself and you surrender to them, they become the best parts of yourself. Your insecurity becomes your compassion, because once you get over it and you start to feel good about yourself and you move through all the illusions of your insecurity, you start to develop this compassion for others. You start to care, and people can feel that vulnerable heart on you. And this works in so many other ways. As you evolve your shadow, you become a more powerful man. You become the best version of yourself. You become a true leader that people want to follow and love. Remember, real growth comes from revealing the best parts of yourself by going through that shadow all the way down to your core and loving yourself for no reason at all, because that's the nature of life. That's the nature of God. That's the nature of consciousness, is love. It is the core of who you are. So the simple question is, who are you when you're not performing masculinity? Who are you when you're just leading from the best version of yourself? What does that person look like? What does he feel like deep down inside? So I want to invite you into a simple process, and I think it's going to be very revealing for you. And we're going to get started right now. So let's dive right in. Close your eyes, take a relaxing breath deep down into your body. Feel the rib cage relax, the lower ribs, and feel that breath fill up your belly. And I want to invite you into this idea of letting go of the chase. I want you to feel into the tension of always needing to be better, the stress of always needing to be better, not the good tension, that resistant tension where it's too much tension and not enough flow. And I want you just to allow the tension to run for a little bit and just see how it's affecting your life. And just be with it for a moment. And then I want to ask you, can you let any of that tension or stress go right now? And can you welcome the self-love that's innate deep down inside of you? Even if it's only 1%. And just sit in that love, even if it's only 1% or more. And just allow it to grow. Just observe it. And now the next question is, as you sit in that, who would you be if all the efforting stopped and the self-love took over? How would you live your life? If you started to take action from self-love, from choice, from courage, what would you go do with your life? And now I want to invite you into letting the man inside of you that knows how to choose, that's beyond efforting, to lead. And then ask yourself, what would that look like? Now take one more breath. And feel one more time into the tension of always needing to be better. And then as you exhale, let that guy go. And can you welcome the self-love that's innate deep down inside you and begin to let it to grow bigger and bigger till eventually it takes over. It becomes a raging fire inside you of love. Now, one more time, who would you be if that fire of love took over and you stopped all the efforting and you started to live from courage? And can you let that man lead? That's beautiful. It's perfect. So hopefully you enjoyed that. It was super short, super quick, but I just wanted you to get an understanding deep down inside that the real answer is inside. You got to look inside and pay attention to these subtle emotions. So with that said, I want to invite you into the idea of stopping, chasing, efforting, forcing, working hard, and start to reveal truth, start to reveal the now, start to reveal the best side of yourself, the beingness inside of you. Remember that the now, you don't get there by performing. You get there by being present. And that's the real power. And one more time, I want to invite you to let the real you deep down inside that's already there to be more than enough, to be the best version of yourself and to love yourself for no reason at all. And again, I want to invite you to like, subscribe, and share, and to definitely comment. I want to hear your comments on this one. I did this video a little different style, a little bit more structure. Hopefully you liked it. And remember, only the courageous really live. See you in the next video.